Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video guys, I'm going to be looking at the February-March 2024 IGCSE ICT Paper 2-1. We're going to start with the section on document production, and then from there we'll move on to databases and presentation to wrap up the paper. So without wasting much of our time, let's go straight into what we are supposed to be looking at. So I have my question paper here. Let me just get up my files, and these are my source files. Just going to go into work files. So guys, I will supply this folder for you, the question paper, the mark scheme, as well as the worked files, so that you guys can practice on your own as well, and then compare your work with my worked files as well. So let's go straight into this folder. So we started with a section on document production, and then we'll move on to databases later on. So you've been supplied with the following source files. So these are the source files, and I'm just gonna confirm that I have all these files here. And then task one, evidence document. Open the file C02 evidence.rtf. Make sure that your name, center number, and contact number will appear on every page of this document. So let's open the evidence document. So the evidence document is this one. Just gonna double click to open it with the default application. In my case, it is Microsoft Word. And I'm just going to plug this onto the right side and zoom in a little bit. Okay, so it says make sure that your name, center number, and contact number will appear on every page of this document. So just go and insert a header or footer, and this is what they're asking you to do. So we go to a header, and inside header, I'm going to insert in blank three columns, and then here I'll put Casa Evans for AE361, and then here I'm going to put 0001. Okay. All right. So save this document in your work area as evidence, followed by your candidate number, for example, evidence 999. And you will need this evidence document during the examinations to place your screenshots when required. So let's go and save this document, save as. And I'm going to save it in my work area. So it is currently in my work area, in my work files. So I'm just going to change the format to Word document, and then change the name as well to evidence, everything in uppercase, and then your candidate number 0001, and then click on save. Okay, so you can confirm the file is saved by that name. And then task two, you're going to edit a report about video gaming. The company uses a corporate house style for all its documents. Paragraph styles must be created and applied as instructed. Step number one, using a suitable software package, open the file C02gaming.rtf. So let's go and open that file. Gaming.rtf is this one. So double click on it. And then I'm going to align it as well to my left like that. And okay, so the page setup is set to F4. So you have these settings already in the document. So page setup is F4, landscape orientation with 2.5 centimeter margins. And I've told you not to make any changes to these settings. So you can confirm that these are the settings that you have in your document. So go to layout, and then go to margins, and then custom margins. And then so check that the margins are set to 2.5 centimeters, and then check that the orientation is landscape, and then the paper size is A4. Okay, so these should be checked. And then next we are going to go to this step. Okay, so two paragraph styles have already been created. Do not make any changes to these. Save the document in a work area with the file name GM market. Okay, so just to confirm what they're talking about when they say two paragraph styles have been created. So you go to home, and then under home, you will see that you have got two paragraph styles created. You have GA body and you've got GA title. So these are the existing paragraph styles. And I've told us not to make any changes to this. So I'm going to leave them as they are. And then let's save this document as GA market. So go to file, save as in the same work folder, which is work files. And then I'm going to change this to Word document. And then because I've told you to save it in the format of the software you're using. So this is Microsoft Word. That's the software. So its format is a Word document. So I'm going to call this as GA market. Everything in uppercase, and then save this document. Okay. Placing your evidence document as screenshots to show that this file has been saved, and make sure that there is evidence of the file type. So I'm going to go to my folder, which is my work file, this one. Make sure that there's evidence of file type. So before I even do that, let's just increase the evidence of file type here. Make sure that the file type column is fully visible. And let's retake this screenshot like so. And I want to make sure that my folder is visible so that it's shown that it's placed in the same folder where I'm working. So go back to the evidence document, and inside the evidence document, I'm going to place this here, and I'm just going to resize it a little bit like that. And done with this step. So let's go to step number 2. Place in the header of the GA market document the text gaming review by, followed by space and your name, center number, and candidate number right aligned. So we're going to go to this document, and in the head of this document, I'm going to go to insert and then header, blank 3 columns. In the right um, um, margin of this document, I'm going to place gaming by, gaming review by, and then this will be followed by space, and then my name, Chikasa Evans, and then followed by my center number, AE361, and then followed by my candidate number, okay, 001. Okay, so this is done. Then I've told you to place in the footer automated page number right aligned. Okay, so again, I'm going to go to click there, double click outside here, go to insert, and I'm going to go to footer, blank 3 column. Now, the reason I'm choosing blank 3 column, guys, is because it has got the alignments, left align, center align, and right alignment of the placeholders. So it's very easy for me to align them properly to the margin without worrying about whether they are aligned to the margin or not. So for now, I'm just going to place them as they are. Here, right aligned, I'm going to insert a page number. So to insert an automated page number, I'm going to go to quick paths field, and then I'm going to hit P on my keyboard and then select the page number format that I want and insert it like that. This must be right aligned as well, so that should be the case. So make sure that all the page, all the alignments match the page margins. And if you chose blank 3 columns here, you don't have to worry about this because that is automatically handled for you. So no other text or placeholders are included in the header or footer areas. So which means we need to delete this text here and this one, and also here and this one we need to delete that. The headers and footers are displayed on all pages. So we have 2 pages, and we can see that the page numbers and the which is represented by the footer, and the header as well, representing our candidate details, is also visible. So this is done, and your 3 marks are backed. And you have step number 3. Select the subheading games and the following text up to and including the paragraph ending, same hardware and performance. Okay, so the subheading games. So we're going to find the subheading games is here, and then and the following text up to and including the paragraph ending hardware and performance. So if we go down, so we're selecting from here, and we're trying to find all the way to hardware and performance. So hardware and performance, same hardware and performance is this one here. So I'm going to select this text, and I'm going to change the layout of this text so that this text is displayed in 2 columns of equal width with a 1 centimeter space between them. So I'm going to go to layout. I'll go to columns and then more columns, and I'll select 2, and then spacing here, I'm going to make this 1.5. Okay, so 1.5 centimeters between that, and then select OK. Okay, that is done. So next, apply numbered bullets to, in this case, like 1, 2, 3, and so on, to the text that is from action games to role playing. Okay, role playing games. So action games, this one here, to role playing games. Okay, like that. So I'm going to add number in here. So I'm going to go to line numbers. In fact, not line numbers. I'm going to go here to home and then select this one and select this. Okay. Okay, so make sure that the line numbers are aligned at the left margin. So at the left margin, which is this one here, where you have this one here, that's the left margin of this paragraph. So I need to indent back the bullet list. So I'm going to go to paragraph here. So you click on this arrow, and then you go to left indentation. Make sure that it is set to 0. Okay, and then just say OK. So left indentation 0, and now you can see that the margin and the bullet is actually the same. So the list is a single line space with no space before or after each line. No space before or after each line. So here, just make sure that you remove the space before. This is the space after. The space before is perfectly fine, but there's space after. But notice that there is a 6-point space after the last item in the list. So here, which means the last item in the list, we're going to add space. But for now, I'm just going to remove the space. But notice when I remove the space that the last item in the list, which is this one, And the next paragraph, there is now no space in between. And this is why the next question asks you to place a space, 6 point space after the last item. So which means you need to place 6 point space after this one. So we go to paragraph settings again, and I'm going to add 6 points here and then add it like that. And now there is space between this last item and the new paragraph. And this is what this means. Okay. Next step, this is step number 5. We're going to create and store the following style, basing it on the default or normal paragraph style. So here we're going to create this style. So I'm going to go to here style, and I'm going to go here, which is a new style. Okay, and then I'm going to base my style based on the default or normal paragraph style. So I'm going to base this on normal, um, based on normal. So, and I'm going to call this as GA subhead, GA subhead. And then it's a serif font. So we have a serif font. Error is fine. Rather, it's a serif font. So Times New Roman. Okay. And then size 20. And it is center aligned. And it is bold, italic, and underlined. No, not underlined, but capital letters. So I'm going to go to format and then go to the font. And then I'm going to say all caps to show that it is capital letters, all caps. And then go back here, and I'm going to go to paragraph to set is line spacing. So go to paragraph, and then line spacing is supposed to be single, no space after, and no space before. So this is supposed to be that. And then I'll set this to OK, and then say OK, OK. So now we can see that the subhead that we just created has applied to one of our body paragraph text. So we're just going to restore this. So to know which style was used for this, we just click inside here. We can tell this is the body style. So we're going to select this and apply the body style to it. And that should be restored properly. So that should be fine. Next, we are going to take a screenshot to show that we have defined the settings for the GA subhead style. Make sure that there's evidence that we have based this on the default or normal paragraph style, and that this is your evidence, that rather we're going to place this in our evidence document. So what I'm going to do is just go to right click this and modify, and I'm going to show the paragraph style for this, just because I want to show that there is evidence of my line spacing, my space before and after, and then also I want to show that I have based this style based on the normal paragraph style. And then there are other things that can be picked up from here, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this like so, and then place this in my evidence document. Okay. I'm going to place this, just say okay, and say okay. And I'm going to place this in my evidence document like that. And then just resize it. Okay. So this is perfectly fine. Let's go to the next step. Identify the 3 subheadings in the document and apply the GA subhead style to each one. Okay, the 3 subheadings in the document. So let's go to the document, and then we're going to apply the GA subhead to each one. So the 3 subheadings, I think we should start from games. Okay, so games, select it, and then we have video game console, hold control, and then double click, and then cloud gaming, double click like that. They've told us that there are 3 of them, and we're going to apply the GA subhead style. So the subhead style is this one, which we just created. So we'll select that, and then locate and move the paragraph. Cloud gaming is a method to access content. So the paragraph cloud gaming is a method to access content. So we think should be somewhere here, this one here. Double click it to select it, and then we're going to move it to so that it appears as a new paragraph immediately after the cloud gaming um, um, text. Okay, so cloud gaming is this one. So we want the text to appear here just before this start of the new paragraph. So what I'm going to do is just to drag this from here, just drag it like that, and then drop it somewhere here. Okay, so I'm just move it so you can see. I'll drop it just at the beginning here. Alternatively, you can cut and copy, rather cut and paste here, and then that will be the case. So here, this is paragraph copied there. All right, so the next step we're supposed to look at is step number 8. So place a cloud shape aligned to the right of the column and top of the paragraph starting there are many advantages. So we need to find the paragraph that starts with their main advantages. And on this paragraph, to the right of the column, And the top of the paragraph, we're going to place a cloud shape. Okay, so we need to insert a shape in form of a cloud, and then we place it to the right of the paragraph, at the top of the paragraph. So let's look at, so the paragraph, I think, is this one. There are many advantages to gaming. So that's the one. So we need to place the cloud shape right on this right side of the paragraph, and then we need to make sure that it's at the top of the paragraph, which is this line. Okay. So to insert a shape, we need to go to insert, and then we need to go to shapes, and then go to basic shapes, and then you should see on basic shape, one of the shapes should be looking like a cloud. If you hover your mouse there, it's going to say cloud. Okay. If you don't find this shape in Microsoft Word, most likely it means that you've opened this document in compatibility mode, and you need to disable compatibility mode. Okay. So you can see mine here. When I worked on the earlier parts of the steps, it was showing compatibility mode, but now it's not showing compatibility mode because I later on disabled compatibility mode. But how you can do that, you go to File, and then you go to Info, and then you will see here where it says compatibility. Right now, I don't have compatibility because I already converted this document. So for you guys, if you see compatibility here, just click on convert, and then this is going to convert the document, accept it to be upgraded into a newer version of the document. So somebody would say, but why does compatibility mode happen? Well, I think it has to do with the versions of the Microsoft Word or whatever package was used to create the document initially. So maybe the examiner was using a lower version, and then you are using Office 365, which is somewhat a higher version of all the professional Office that is available, the standalone packages. So if you're using the online version, which is the Office 365, it's the most recent one, and it will always be very updated compared to all the other versions of Office. So you will likely to have compatibility issues, but then I've shown you how you can disable that so that you don't start crying in the exam that you cannot find a particular feature. Okay, so let's go ahead and insert the shape. So I'm going to go here, select the shape. I'm just going to draw it randomly like that. Okay. So don't worry about the position. We'll come back to this section where we're being asked to format the shape. So resize it so that it is 5 centimeters wide. So I'm going to click on the shape and go to size at the top here. And then under absolute width, I'm going to make this as 5. And then make sure that the aspect ratio is locked so that the shape should resize in proportion to the height and the width. Okay, so click like that. Then let's go ahead and add outside edge of the cloud is black, and then it's a 3 to 4 point thick. Okay, so here make sure that the weight is 3 to 4, and then also make sure that the outline is black. Okay, and then it is filled with a light gray shading of 10 between 10 to 25%. So the shape fill, and then make sure that if you hover your mouse around here, it should show you the level of shading. So let's say this one, this is 10% dark. You can go for this other one, which is 25%, but I'll go for 10% because this is the range we were given. 25% is not bad as well. It's still within the range. So this is done. Then the next one is that we need to make sure that the text wraps around the shape. So which means right click here, go to text wrap, and then square. Okay. Alternatively, you can get this symbol here, layout option, and then pick up square. Square should be, let's see, this one, I think. Yeah, this one should be square as well. Okay, so this is done. Then the next part that we're supposed to do is to align this shape to the right of the column and then top of the paragraph. So what you need to do is to click on it, drag it to the right. Okay. Once you get a green line like that, it means it's aligned to the right of the margin. Then drag it up, and now it is aligned to the top of the paragraph. And so now you let go. Okay, so we're done with this step. We've resized to 5 centimeters. We've added the border, and we've added 3 to 4 points thick. So the shape is filled with a light gray shading, and then also the text wraps around the shape. Okay, so this is fine. Step number 9, enter the text cloud gaming in the cloud shape created in step 8. Okay, so format the text to display in bold black font. Okay, so I'm going to add the text. So add text inside here, and I'm going to add cloud gaming. Okay, and then we've been told to make sure that this text is bold and it is a black font. So go to home, make sure that it is black. Just select black here, and then make sure that it is bold. Okay, then they have told us to make sure that the text fits within the shape and does not touch the border. So the completed shape should look like this. So in other ways, you can see that our text is not fitting on the single line within the shape. And so what we can do is just to reduce the font size a little bit, maybe like that. That should be perfectly fine. Okay. So next we need to, I think this is done. We need to spell check and proofread the document. Make sure that, but before we do that, let's deal with the spell check part. So spell checking the document. Um, you should be able to distinguish between spelling errors and grammatical errors. Okay, so Word is going to underline all grammatical errors in blue, and then it's going to underline spelling errors in red. So forget about the words that have been underlined in blue and focus on those that have been underlined in red. So in red, this is where we have spelling issues. So click on it and then select realistic. Click on it and select a simulation. So also just be cautious. Of the different types of English, British, American, and stuff like that. The spellings might be different, but I doubt they'll give you a word which is conflicting the different spellings between English from the US, English from Britain, and stuff like that. So I don't think they'll give you that. So it will just be just simple words. Okay. So scroll down again just to confirm if there's any other word. You can see that there's no other word. So we are done with this. And then proofread doesn't mean that read the articles or read the paragraph. No, it doesn't mean that. You just make sure that you check that all the work that you've been asked to do, according to the steps from step number 1 to step number 9, that you have done them. Everything is as supposed to be. I mean, it's supposed to be super cool. So notice also that the list is not split over two column. Okay, so the list right now is split over two column. You can see that you have action games on this column, and then the list continues on the next column. So what you need to do is to push this onto a new page, okay, a new column. Put your cursor here at the end of this paragraph and push it to the next line so that it starts on the next line like that. Okay. So this one is done. There are no widows or orphans again because of that. So this a widow and an orphan. A widow is basically a paragraph that is hanging on its own, like this one, okay? And an orphan will be the last line of a paragraph, again, that is hanging on its own. Right now, we don't have an example of an orphan, but we have an example of a widow. So I'm going to push this line to the next paragraph of its own. So the next column, like that. So this is perfectly fine. And yeah, I think this should be fine. So the next thing that we need to do, guys, is to make sure that there are no blank pages. There are no blank pages. Original styles are maintained. All styles are applied consistently, and the spacing is consistent between all items. And then we save the document using the same file name and format used in step 1. Okay, so which means the same file name that is there, and then we just confirm what step 1 was telling us to do, just to make sure that the document is there. So it's this GM market, and we're going to save it like that. So just hit on save, and this is done. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure that you subscribe, as you'll be getting notification whenever I post a new video. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you in the next video where we're going to be talking about databases. Okay, bye bye.